The approach in making this movie was not only to pay homage to the original designs that Peo designed, but also to give the entire world a little bit of a different take. We wanted the humor to be a little more sophisticated. In the casting, we were thinking about that. We wanted the characters to all play to a wider range of audience members and have a humor that not only appealed to the adults but also to the children. One of the relationships that's in the movie is Hefty and Brainy. And I think early versions of this, Hefty and Brainy were constantly at each other's throats, bickering as my younger kids would do. But instead we decided to give them a little more of a subtle approach to their arguing. So there's a point where Hefty is taunting Brainy at one point when Brainy is doing all of his scientific facts. And Hefty keeps interrupting him with a blort, bleep, bloop. And it is more the way that my older kids would argue. And eventually Brainy just gives up and goes on because he knows this is just going to continue going. The Forbidden Forest was introduced halfway through our story process. Originally, when the Smurfs went out on their quest, it was just in a regular forest that had some unique plants in it. And it wasn't until we decided that we wanted them to go into a completely new world that visually it really came to life. The forest is definitely full of dangers, surprises at every bend. In fact, when the Smurfs first come into the forest, we were trying to think of what we could do to immediately grab your attention. And obviously the visuals definitely grab your attention, but we wanted them to get right into the journey. So of course they're immediately gobbled up by these things called the Smurf-eating plants. I don't think that's their official name, but because we only really see them eat Smurfs in the movie, we've affectionately called them that. The Smurfs on their quest are sent over a great waterfall by Gargamel. They think all hope is lost. They end up on a beach and they're screaming at each other, and then suddenly spears come out of the trees and they're surrounded by this creature. It's looked like a monster caterpillar that starts circling them, and they don't know what to make of it. And then suddenly it breaks apart and we realize that it's all of these little small creatures that are wearing masks and have different camouflage.